So you've heard it already. Are we actually in a recession? Everybody's talking about it right now. And as a Forex trader for the last 18 years, I want to talk about my experience with past recessions, like in 2008, and the current one, if it's actually taking place, how to work a profitable Forex account during a period like this. I've already had losses in the last couple weeks, and I've made a plan to recover those losses in a steady and consistent way. And I want to talk about that in this video to help you on your journey. So I want you guys to learn from my mistakes, because that's what this channel is for, is talking about the losses, what I did, how to improve upon it, and how you shouldn't make that same mistake. So I took about 28% losses back in May of this year, so just about a month ago. You can see I took about a 10% hit here, made a 4% recovery, and then was hit with a 17% loss that followed, all within the same month. This is considered to me pretty much a back-to-back loss, and something that I was not expecting. My worst loss that I had like this was actually about May, June of last year, so 2021. And you can see here on this account, I was able to make a recovery. So I had an algorithm that took a loss, and you can see that it actually extended the drawdown to about 78% here. I closed the trades at about a 30% loss, 35% loss, and was able to make that recovery with updates to my algorithms to improve trading here. And you can see that the recovery was smooth and steady, and low drawdown actually that followed after that. So this is what I've done in the past to make a recovery when I have an extensive loss. I do this because I can't take any big risks to make a recovery, especially with the losses that I took this year in May based on manual trades that I've done. And so that's why I'm plugging in my algorithms and adjusting my risk on my manual trades to make a smoother, more consistent recovery, because that's what needs to be done. It's just like what you see with the stock market. When people have losses, they lose them quickly, and recovery typically takes a lot longer, and that's something that you need to expect in your trading, and that's something that I need to expect in my trading as well. One reason why you guys haven't seen me post a video on this channel for almost 2 months now is because I needed to figure out a plan of recovering my 28% loss. I don't want to lose any more than that. Losing around 30% in any trading account, whether it's Forex or the stock market, is really challenging, especially when you try to recover from a technical and an emotional standpoint. If you lose much more than that, it gets way more difficult, and the emotions will take over, and it gets even harder to make a smooth recovery. So that's why a well thought out plan needed to be made from me, and that's why I took this time to really figure that out. I'm an average in trader, so I use grid and multi-order trading to basically close out my positions into profit. It gives me more chances to be wrong in this market. But sometimes things don't work out, and I have to cut for losses like I did in May. So my first 10% loss looks like this. I was using the Vigorous algorithm. You can see that the standalone version of Vigorous also includes a trade panel. So I can force start a trade sequence, and the trade sequence automatically follows through and tries to close out the positions into profit. In this situation, there was rumors of Europe increasing interest rates because of inflation. This was just a rumor, there was nothing announced, and the volatility picked up during a dead time before the New York session. And I got stuck in this with a 12 trade sequence and ended up being into 10% drawdown. I was using too much risk at the time, I was a little bit overconfident, mistakes were made, and ended up closing out my trades at the peak. And you can see right here, closed them out, and eventually price did fall back down soon after, and I would have been able to close this sequence into a fair amount of profit, even after going into 10% drawdown. So I closed out this trade sequence because I was fearful of losing my prop firm account at my Forex funds, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. And so I closed this trade sequence early, resulting in a 10% loss. So the 17% loss that I took in the last week of May was a bit bittersweet, because I was anticipating a large US dollar buy-in based on the US indices having a huge sell-off. This took place, as you can see, in the second week of June. I was 1 week too early anticipating this, and this caused my trades here on the US dollar Swiss franc to come out with a loss. I had to take a loss because my average in on my positions was too tight, and I didn't leave myself enough room because I was anticipating this move a bit too early. As you can see, the move went, the stock market had its sell-off, but I was a week too early. Really unfortunate, but it's a learning lesson to give myself in my trades a bit more room to breathe, so I can have a little bit of a backup when it comes to anticipating moves a bit too early. So my plan is to use multiple algorithms to recover my loss. And to do this, I basically minimize the risk of multiple strategies on one account to maximize profit. And to do this, I used my Powerhouse algorithm, which is actually available to the public as well. And it's just about to get its next update to improve performance. So this is what I've been using to slowly churn out profit. I get an average of around 15 to 20 trades a day because these strategies multiple strategies running on the same account some of them are scalpers. And so they're taking lots of small trades every single day. And some of them are range trading strategies and some are trend trading strategies as well. And I like this idea of running multiple strategies on one account because you can minimize the risk when you have more strategies working for you on the same account and they all are churning out a good amount of profit on a basically daily basis. The Powerhouse includes some of my best algorithms that I've created over the last few years. You can see the Ranger, Vigorous, the Comeback Kid, all being run on these accounts live, and also some demo accounts here as well that are really consistent even during a market in turmoil like we're seeing right now. The Vigorous strategy that you see here is part of the Powerhouse algorithm. So this is a strategy that trades the Euro-US dollar 10 to 15 times a day. So this is a scalping strategy that's in and out of the market really quickly. So this is the type of trading that I think the majority of Forex traders should be focusing on. Trades that are quick in and out of the market, because the longer that you're holding positions for, the more risk that they get, especially when the market is under distress or turmoil or possibly even going through a recession. There's a lot of volatility, and so having a strategy that is in and out of the market quickly is where you should be focusing. And it doesn't matter if it's the Vigorous that you see here or my new strategy that I'm developing, the Sharpshooter, that also trades the Euro-US dollar, but strategies that focus on the Euro-US dollar is a good idea, because this pair has the lowest spread, as you know, has usually the lowest commission at brokers as well, and it's available everywhere. It's also the most manipulated, which scares a lot of people, but because it's manipulated means that it has really small, more predictable ranges. And so if you can find a manual strategy that works with the Euro-US dollar, or an algorithm that is consistent and is tried and tested during the months and years of 2008 during a recession like we're kind of experiencing right now, that's where you should be researching. So I also wanted to let you guys know I did lose my funded account at my Forex funds. The 200K that I was trading, this happened back in May when I took my losses on my personal accounts. I breached the 5% daily loss limit by 0.5%. It was a miscalculation on the algorithm that I was using to close out my trades. This is something that I'm improving and hopefully will have corrected in the near future so this doesn't happen again. But you can see that I already passed another challenge at my Forex funds, 200K, and I'm well into phase 2. So I'm almost 2% profit, have some floating trades, and I think I'm going to be able to pass this one. My risk is really low, I'm conservative here, and I have a long time to reach the 5% target in phase 2. So more on this in the coming weeks when I start releasing more consistent content on this channel. Thanks guys for watching, catch you on the next one.